Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome yet again. Glad to see your lovely faces have returned to another episode of the Oddcast. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know what episode we're on right now.
I think it's 8. I think we're
Um,
on episode 8.
I think we're on episode 8. He says. All right.
8 or
If
7.
we're wrong, it's Ace's.
Either or.
If we're wrong, it's Ace's fault.
It's not my fault.
Um, but welcome to another episode of the Oddcast. Um, this is gonna be a quickie but a goodie because Ace, after 10 long years of waiting for a movie we never thought we wanted or needed, Avengers Infinity War has finally been unleashed upon the world
And
and
I think you're speaking for
and
yourself there, because I'm pretty sure I've always wanted an Avengers Infinity War movie. That could just be me. You're speaking for
Ace,
yourself there.
Ace, please, please, Ace, okay. Thank you. All right. All right. I don't need you to patronize me in front of the fans. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
As I was saying,
Whatever you say.
as I was saying, um, if Avengers Infinity War has been unleashed upon the world. It's been out for a few days now. It hasn't even been a week, and it's already shattering records across the board. Well, maybe not across the board, but it's already shattered a couple records, which is great. Which is a testament to how well Marvel have built this Marvel Cinematic Universe, as some would call it. Um, uh, I mean, uh, going in before we get into spoiler territory, here's my spoiler-free review of this movie, and I think Ace, you agree with me on this. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it
All
is.
right, all right. The spoiler-free review of the movie is over. Moving into spoiler territories now. If you haven't seen the movie by now, which I'm pretty sure if you're listening to this, you probably have by now. Good for you. If not, then why the fuck are you still here? Full-on spoiler territory.
Go watch it
Here
and
we
come
go.
back.
Tread lightly. Yeah, watch it and come back. Um, but here we go. Walking over landmines now. If you're still here, it's on you. Man, that movie's fucking awesome, Ace.
I know. It
The,
is.
it uh it like me and you were saying by the end of the movie, um, that was Thanos' movie.
It was his
That
movie.
was totally his movie.
It was totally his movie. I'm pretty sure most moviegoers that are like that have watched enough like just movies in general like knew that it was his movie, and everyone else was playing the secondary or character role, like, and just um it, the way they humanized him and like made him like not necessarily a character you could relate to, but just like a character that you
You
should,
could empathize with some of his.
yeah, you should
You
like
could
you should
empathize
take
with some of
notice
his
to what
views.
what he's going through, like, it was like it was pretty cool. I honestly thought what's it called, that he wasn't gonna like just be like that in the movie when I first watched it. I thought it was gonna be like the whole like, okay, so we're getting it everything from his perspective, and then we're just gonna be with him the whole time he's collecting the stones. But nah, they took a few moments out the movie to dive into his character, and I really enjoyed that, because now we have to care about him, and like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I definitely going into the movie, I was expecting one movie, and then coming out on the other side, I got a totally different movie than what I was expecting, and I think a lot of people feel the same way, which I'm very happy about because they fucking swerved us to use for back of a loader term. They fucking swerved us. They no, I'm sorry, they worked us. That's better. I like that word better. Because
What are you
one thing I
referring to?
did like about this movie one thing I liked about this movie, and some of the shots that they used in the trailer, they were different from the movie, which didn't give away spoiler. Well, I guess you could say they gave away spoilers, but in the movie they changed it. For example, the shot of them running in Wakanda towards the camera with Cap, Black Widow, I think Black Panther, and the Hulk. That scene is changed in the movie. Hulk never comes out in the movie except for the first like 5 minutes or so when he gets his ass handed to him by Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
But and then in the movie, it's changed to him running in the Banner running in the Hulkbuster, which I thought was fucking cool. And the same goes for when Cap was holding off the gauntlet that Thanos had. He was holding off the gauntlet with his bare hands. But in the movie, obviously, he had all seven stones at that point. But in the trailer, he only had three of them.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
I thought that kind. I thought those little touches were cool. I wish more movies did that. Not necessarily to like lie in the marketing campaign,
Yeah, but to
but
throw us off the trail,
save
you
some
know.
surprises.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, throw us off the trail. I really dug that. I wish Sony learned that from the Spider-Man trailers, but that's another story for another time. But yeah, going into the movie, I honestly, personally, I didn't expect him to get all the stones. I thought we were going to spend two movies of him getting the stones, or two and a half movies maybe, him getting the stones, and then
Mhm.
the second half of this Avengers 4 would be, them all coming together, which, I wouldn't have been mad at that either, but I'm glad we got the movie we got because now going into Avengers 4, there's so much that could happen. There's so many wild theories already, people going crazy out there with what could happen, what is going to happen, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
And the not I wouldn't say hype, but I can't think of the word right now, but the amount of fandom, I don't know. The amount of
Spec-
anticipation they're building
speculation.
for speculation, yeah, I'll think of it in a few minutes when it's not relevant. But the amount of speculation and the amount of anticipation they built around Avengers 3 and 4 is something I don't think I've ever seen in my life. And I give kudos to Kevin Feige and Marvel for what they've done building us. This is like the WrestleMania for comic book movies at this point. Like this is probably like besides Black Panther, of course, this is probably like the biggest thing happening right now, like in the comic book world. Like regardless of whether or not you're a Marvel fanboy, you cannot deny that this movie right now is just taking over the world. Like it's to the point where people are literally like going out of their way to avoid spoilers. Like it's insane. I haven't seen this level of hype around the movie probably since the first Avengers movie, maybe. If I could think about it, yeah, probably the first Avengers movie, which once again is another Marvel movie. Marvel's fucking killing it right now. DC, where you at, man?
I personally think
But
the hype for next year's movie is gonna be even bigger, just because of
yeah,
how how the movie like ended so abruptly.
hmm
Like it just threw you into
yeah,
this that last scene of like who's left, and then it just cut to the credits, and not any fancy credits either. There's some a very somber
yeah.
tone
It's just like
credits.
very,
Oh,
very somber, very like just what's the word? Just boring credits. Like they didn't give us any like
very stock,
outro,
very
like
stock credits.
yeah, stock. That's the word I was looking for. Very stock, just credits, just names on the screen.
Hmm. The only fancy thing being
Now
the Avengers Infinity War title fading into ashes. That's
fading
pretty much
away.
it. That's pretty much the only fancy thing we
Now,
got.
I have a question to ask you because this is something I didn't think about this coming out of the movie, but hearing a lot of because I didn't know this about the Soul Stone when I watched the movie.
Hmm.
But do you think that was the soul dimension that Thanos was in when he was chilling watching the sunrise,
Uh,
and that's where everyone got transported to?
wait. Okay, wait. Say that again. Okay, so like that shot of him chilling in the hut. You think that was the soul
Yeah,
dimension?
with the smile. Yeah, that's what a lot of people think that
No,
he
no,
achieved this thing. No?
no. The soul world. I think how they're gonna handle it. It's just gonna be where everyone who turned to ash is gonna go. And Thanos is just chilling wherever he wanted to be chilling, like on some other planet or
So
whatever.
he sent that. So he sent the half the universe to the soul dimension, and then he's just chilling
He's just
in
chilling
our
where, yeah, because he achieved his goal,
wherever. Okay.
or
Yeah.
or so he thinks, like because I'm
Yeah.
still writing that theory, that I told you earlier. But
And what would that theory be for the people that don't know?
the theory, which the people probably already seen this theory, but it's the outcome that Doctor Strange at first said that like
Yeah.
there's only one way to do
One
it,
way we get out of this.
but little did we know like he has to win in order to achieve that outcome, and
Yeah.
that
Like
like
like he said, we're in the end game.
yeah, we're in the end game now, like, and then he tells Tony like it was the only way, after he gave it to him, after he gave the time stone to Thanos. And that's just me. There could be other ways around it, it could just maybe that could be a swerve too. I don't know, but it just seems plausible, because like all the stuff is there. Because I'm pretty sure.
Now,
What? What?
uh, how,
What?
how funny would it be if the next movie was called Infinity Gauntlet, like the comics,
Mm-hmm.
and we just see this nigga Thanos being a farmer, like he won,
Farmer
and we
Thanos,
actually get him
and he's
being a
actually
farmer.
farming,
Like, and then,
just picking
how
radishes.
awesome would that fucking how awesome would that be if you just the Avengers come and try to fuck Thanos up and he just like I'm growing crops. What are you doing?
He's just picking carrots out of the ground and just like
Yeah,
just
it's like
chilling.
just making a living for himself.
That'd be funny.
What was it? But I mean, yeah, this I don't know. They could oh fuck that hurt. They could do a lot of shit with the next movie, and I'm actually like really excited. I kind of as much as I want to like speculate and theorize or whatever, I kind of just want to like let just come into the movie like I did with this movie. I came into the movie like dry as shit. I mean, obviously I knew about the Infinity War storyline from the comics, lightweight, or I knew about it enough to kind of see a roadmap for where this movie's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I feel like going to the next movie, I'm gonna try to go in there with a little bit of fresher eyes than I did this time around,
Oh, you're not gonna do as much
just so
research
I
this
can.
time.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I kind of it's kind of hard to avoid,
I really, I,
stuff that
the f-
happens
hey, the fact
after
that
the
we're
fact.
getting it in back-to-back years, like you can't really ask for much more than that, honestly.
Oh yeah, of course not. Yeah, that's enough. Like, oh, dude, could you imagine if both those movies, if both these movies came out this year, like one in May and then one in December? Oh, oh,
I don't think
man,
the world is ready for that.
the world could handle it. Yeah, they're not ready for that. We might
Because the
actually,
wound would still be
we might
fresh.
actually explode. Yeah, like by the time Avengers 4 comes out, Avengers 3 will be on Blu-ray, and then oh, dude, that'd actually be a smart marketing idea. Watch Avengers 4, and then bam, go right into 3 and go right into Avengers 4. Man, oh no, that's just a thought. But one thing of course everybody I'm pretty sure can attest to this is the character interactions we got between everybody in the movie was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Like Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Tony Stark, Star Lord, uh, Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, fucking just all of it.
Just
Every
bickering.
character interaction we got was just yeah, it was amazing. Fucking fucking Tony Tony's like, come on, you're embarrassing me in front of the wizards.
I know, right?
Oh, like all the quippy one-liners, just
I am glad though that they weren't as like overly quippy in this movie, because
mhm.
there's a war going on, like even like on a grand scale, so like they don't have the time to be quipping like left and right like that. I kind of enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
like once the fighting got started, it was really just it was like go time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like once like yeah, they made jokes like let's kick names and take ass, and then they started fighting, and then it was just like okay, and we got serious time.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Star Lord going crazy on Thanos when he finds out he killed Gamora, like that was fucking like that was like damn dude, like whew, that was his girl. That's a girl he was trying to get with for like 4 or 5 years now or whatever.
I think he got with her though, didn't he?
Yeah, I think by that point, yeah, they were already together, but we don't know how long they've been together.
That's true. Yeah, I still need to look up the timeline because I'm pretty sure there's a video for it. But like,
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
what's it called?
which I'm pretty sure by the end of Guardians 2, when Thor catches up to him, um, wouldn't that be the most? Wouldn't that be like them being caught up to the most recent stuff that's happened?
I don't know.
I would assume. I don't know either. Like Deadpool said, these timelines are so confusing.
Mm-hmm. Now, now,
Uh,
there's one thing I needed to ask you. Let me try to.
okay.
What do you think? Okay, so now this is what I think. I think Spider Man's role in that movie was just to be like the the connection to the audience. Like everything that he's experiencing in this movie is basically what we're experiencing as we're watching it. Like, do you think that's true, or like do you think something like otherwise?
Um,
Because
I've
he was
I've
kind of
never
like
thought
in
of it that way.
he was kind of like yeah, he was a vital part of what was happening, but like seeing his reactions to like everything that's going on, like it made me
Just,
it just I just
I
made
think
that connection mid movie the first time we watched it, you know.
I don't know. I think it's just more so like him just literally being a kid. I think that's what I got out of it. Like when he died, like he was like, I don't want to go. Like he started crying. Like unlike everybody else who just sort of was just like fading away and like, oh, okay, they're gone.
Mhm.
Like he like started crying. He started freaking the fuck out. Like, yo, I'm a kid. I'm about to die. And a lot of his reactions to things were things a kid his age would say, like, "Hey, I'm Doctor Strange." Oh, made up names. I'm Spider Man. He doesn't understand that that's his act. He doesn't understand that Doctor Strange is his name,
Mhm.
which I thought, which is, being on his part, being oblivious to that is a very kid thing to do. So I don't know. I don't. I see where you're coming from, yeah, but me personally, I thought it was just him literally just being a kid. Like this is a whole new world to him. Like aliens invading, all the things that are happening, like yeah, him not listening to Stark when he's like, you need to stay here on Earth and all that kind of shit. Like yeah, everything he was saying and doing was just what a fucking kid his age would do.
Mhm.
But I do understand your viewpoint.
I'm only saying that because that's how he was when he first showed up in Civil War. He was kind of just like amazed by all like these superheroes fighting each
Yeah,
other.
like oh OMG, this is happening.
Yeah, you know. So I thought that would carry over in this movie, and I kind of got that vibe. Not as not as like on the nose
Hmm.
as on Civil War, but yeah, I kind of got that vibe too. Oh, I forgot to talk to you about this the first time we watched it. Man, I did not
Okay.
expect Peter Dinklage to be in this movie.
Okay. The thing is, I knew he was in the movie because like a week or two before the movie came out, there was it was some report like, oh yeah, Peter Dinklage is in the movie, but we just don't know what role he's in. And I totally forgot going into the movie that he was even going to be in it because I was thinking about everything else. But then when I saw him, I was like, oh yeah, he's in this fucking movie. Wait, and I was like, wait a minute, he's fucking giant. What the hell is going on here?
I know, right?
Like I thought he was supposed to be, like I thought he was supposed to be. I didn't know that like he was playing a giant dwarf, which is I thought was still cool though. But I was like, oh hey, that's cool. Yeah, but that's crazy.
I did not
Now
know he's gonna be in this movie. That was crazy.
Now, one thing I do think will be interesting going forward with the Ant-Man movie is, do you think the after credit scene will be Wasp or even like Hank Pym disappearing, like fading away, and then Ant-Man staying being the one that stays alive for the next movie?
I wouldn't be
Same
surprised if
thing with
that happened.
uh isn't there another movie between them? Well, Captain Marvel, but that's in the 90s. But yeah, I think I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, like if that happened. And then obviously we all know at this point, the only people that survived being faded away were the original Avengers, and we're all assuming Hawkeye's still alive too, because we didn't see him throughout the whole movie, so we kind of have to assume he's alive.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, going into Avengers 4, like it's gonna be coming full circle with the original. We get the original lineup, um, maybe plus Ant-Man, which I think would be pretty cool because he was. It wasn't Cap in the original lineup. It was Hulk, Thor, Ant-Man, and Iron Man. They were the original four
Mm-hmm.
in the original Marvel, in the original Avengers in the comics, which is odd because I always thought Captain America was in that lineup, but I guess that was just the Mandela effect taking over my warped little mind.
Yeah, I think when Cap was in the lineup, that's when the um, Avengers really started to blow up. You know.
Yeah, that was like they started like getting that real popularity.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think if we do get Ant-Man and Avengers 4, oh man, the funniness is gonna be taken to like a whole
Yeah,
nother
okay,
level.
so like with Ant Man being in Avengers 4, like the amount of like just like social commentary is gonna go through the roof, and then with 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 Ant-Man in Avengers 4. We're gonna get a lot of backsass, and I think I'm gonna enjoy that. I'm gonna enjoy that a lot
Oh yeah.
with them two being added to the lineup, which is good because with the with the depleted teams like that's left, like you have more screen time for like for them too.
Oh yeah. It's definitely gonna. We're definitely gonna get a lot more screen time with our heroes next time around. Hopefully, I'm assuming, unless we get more of Thanos being a farmer, if they go that route, you know.
I don't think they'll make him
No.
full blown farmer, but like he'll probably just be chilling,
Yeah,
on
he'll
the
just be
farmland.
chilling. Yeah.
He got nothing better to do now. He did what he
Now,
needed to do.
now, if there's one, it's not even like a big criticism or like a gripe but if there's one, I guess only my only disappointment with this movie, and I understand. I don't. It's not a big thing, I guess. I understand. There's a lot of characters. Yeah, you're only gonna have so much screen time for everybody. I get it. My only gripe with this movie is that we didn't get enough not backstory or I guess in depthness or enough time with children with Thanos's Black Order or some people
Oh
or
yeah, they
with
were
Thanos.
handled pretty poorly in my opinion. But like
Yeah, no, like none of them even got name dropped, which I was like kind of blown away by.
which
Like
sucks
none,
because
not even one time.
the like from the time that they were on screen doing stuff, I kind of like I was really enjoying them. Like you could really make a movie with just the Black Order, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, yeah, you can make a movie about them coming together with being with Thanos. Like that's a movie in and of itself right there. That
mm-hmm.
it just writes itself right there. But the fact that like I said, I understand we only have so much time. But like, damn, dude, to not even get a name drop, like, oh man, like, and they're so cool in the comics. Like they really are. A lot of their names are fucking cool. Ebony Maw, Black Dwarf, which got changed to Cole Obsidian. Proxima Midnight. That's a fucking name right there, man. Proxima Midnight. Are you fucking serious? And I can never get this guy's name. Is it Gulliver Glaive? Glaive? I know it's
Something
Glaive.
glaive.
I can never get the first part right. Yeah, it's like fuck it. I don't care.
I
They
don't
were so
remember.
unimportant in the movie. They were so unimportant in the movie, but like they did cool shit. Like fucking Ebony when he had Doctor Strange trapped and he was torturing him with the needle
Yeah,
stuff.
he had that man
Oh, that
in the
was
torture chamber.
that was cool. And he was kind of like their speaker. Like he would always, show up and be like, "You're about to be blessed by Thanos" or some shit like something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool. It's like this dude like commands like an audience. He commands an audience. Like
Yeah, like when he
commands
speaks, you gotta
attention.
listen.
Yeah, he speaks. You shut up and listen. Like that's the vibe I got from him, and it worked. I just like I said, I just wish they got a little bit more of a like a fleshing out or like in depth or whatever. But it's fine, I guess. They're all dead, so it doesn't really matter at this point. Which I guess if you're gonna kill them off in just one movie, then sure, might as well go that route.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, only gripe with the movie though. But like I said, it's small. They 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 were throwaway characters, yes, but they weren't you know uh insignificant. Like they had a purpose, which I really dug.
Mm-hmm. And they made the Avengers struggle. Like you had to
I know for the
a lot of impeccable timing had to happen for them to die.
good thinking on Banner's part though, using the Hulkbuster armor and the Wakanda shield, the
Mm.
freaking send Cole Obsidian up and I was like, damn, that's actually like pretty smart because if Hulk isn't gonna come out and Hulk up on this dude, like how the fuck are they gonna beat him?
Exactly.
And the movie, oh my god, the movie's just so exciting. It just has you on the edge of your seat the entire time.
I know right
Like
from the
whenever
get
the
go.
action scenes start, yeah, whenever the action starts, you're just like, man, someone could die like right now. Like anyone could go, man. It's just fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's just all the matter of who is it.
Yeah, it's just always that question in the back of your mind. Like, it's like watching Attack on Titan. It's like everyone and anyone could die. No one's off limits. Just like who is it? Who's it gonna be next time?
That sounds more like Game
And
of
I gotta,
Thrones.
Oh yeah, but I don't watch Game of Thrones, so. But I
Okay.
understand. I understand your point.
No one's safe.
Um, I also got to give a big shout out to Thanos using that gauntlet to its full potential and not being a slouch.
He dropped the moon. He dropped the moon on
He
him.
he dropped
Well,
the
he
moon
didn't
on
drop
him,
the
bro.
moon, but he dropped meteors on him.
Yeah, he broke that shit up. Which I honestly thought like he's gonna drop that entire moon on these fuckers right now, and this movie's gonna be over.
At least
I
that
was like,
section of the
yo,
movie's gonna be over.
yeah, I was like, the moment he started pulling them, I was like, yo, this motherfucker's crazy, dude. Like he's actually crazy. Like, yo, Thanos, please, dude. Like, come on, man. Like, holy shit, that dude, he was not fucking around with that, pulling that fucking moon out of the sky. I was like, oh shit, he's got this gauntlet shit on lock, dude. From that
Hmm.
moment on, I was like, I'm not gonna doubt this motherfucker ever again.
And then he was like just throwing everything that Doctor Strange threw at him back at him.
Oh, right back at him. He fucking turned.
When Doctor Strange threw the fucking like reflective mirror dimension portal thingy at
Oh, the
him,
mirror dimension
and then he
thing.
absorbed it and then threw it back at him. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
I was like, he can do that. He could just throw dimensions at willy nilly
I
at
know
like
he
like.
could throw dimensional portals back at the user. Like what?
I was like, excuse me, that I don't understand physics, but is that possible?
I guess anything is possible with the gauntlet, with all the stones, or
Yeah,
most
it
of the
really,
stones.
I guess so, man. Because he fucking turned Drax into blocks and Mantis into like a slinky.
I
That
I
shit was
know.
crazy.
I was like, did they just die?
That shit. That's what I thought too. I was like, wait a minute, hold on, they're not dead, are they?
That was crazy.
So, oh my God, there's so much happening in this movie. It's almost like a sensory overload, but it's like a good sensory overload.
Hmm.
Because like a lot of comic book movies up to this point can suffer from too many characters, like either too many heroes or too many villains. Mainly from the too many villains part, because we've seen numerous times where a movie can suffer from too many villains. And yeah, this movie has five, if you want to be technical, or yeah, five. We have Thanos and his children. Um, but like I said, it never feels crowded, and I guess that's because they gave Thanos the main spotlight, while they gave his children, the boot. I guess if you want to, for lack of a better term or phrase, they gave them the boot, and they gave all the shine to him, which in my I get really worked because we didn't have to focus on four other villains to care about. We only cared about the one, and they made us care about the one, even if it was for like a split second. You're like, oh shit, Thanos is kind of. Wait a minute, no, he's still the fucking bad guy. But I can kind of see where he's coming from. But because we've seen movies, Spider-Man 3, where it just suffers from too much happening at
Hmm.
one and too much to care about. And this movie kind of took a more focused approach on its villain, and I like that a lot.
It was definitely what's it called? A different kind of movie than what most people expected to walk into.
Yeah,
Um,
and the fact that, and I think it's also because they didn't have to make us care about any of the the heroes, because
we know
we've had
we've been
18
there.
movies up to this point to
we
care about them.
exactly
Yeah,
we've had a decade to care. Like, and
so
now
I
you
would
give
definitely
us
say
the
for
villain.
anyone, yeah, just give us the bad guy. Now I definitely say for anyone that hasn't seen any of these Marvel movies up to this point, I would definitely say you're gonna be kind of lost, and sure, like you could go into the first Avengers movie, and maybe even the second one to an extent, and maybe kind of just like watch them as standalone movies. But this movie, I think, really you need that added benefit of watching the other 18 movies. And I know 18 movies is a fucking lot. That is a lot of movies to watch to want to get to be invested 100% into
Well,
this
if you're
movie.
10
But
years late,
it's
then
worth it.
you. Well, if you're 10 years late, then that's kind of your fault. You know,
Yeah, and that's also a very valid point. Like
movies have been
yeah,
out for so
you
long.
should
They play on TV for
you
free.
should have been on board. Yeah, FX plays on like all the fucking time, dude. Because FX has the movies. I have to let
especially
that
when
one
new
go
movies come
hard.
out.
Oh yeah, dude. They fucking play Iron Man like every other week, and Thor, I think. Those movies are always on. Like if you haven't seen them by now, then and same thing with HBO. They always play the Marvel movies.
Yeah, that's on
They,
you if you
you
haven't
gotta have no
watched it.
excuse at this point.
Well, to be
Yeah,
fair
they're
though,
all over
like
the place.
I'm pretty sure anyone in the right mind would know that this movie requires you to have watched the other ones. Like no one's gonna go in there
Yeah,
to
true.
expecting uh to not have watched the movies and understand what's fully going on and why the characters are doing what they're doing. So like,
Hmm.
and it's even in the opening freaking credits, like when they showed the Marvel Studios thing and they highlighted the I and O
The
to
10.
represent a 10. Like,
Yeah, no, that I hella forgot about that. That was awesome. That's like that's like damn, dude. We started this journey 10 years ago and we're still fucking here. Like, man, that's a good feeling, man.
yeah, like
A fucking good feeling.
if that alone doesn't tell you like you need to have been invested since the beginning, like that's
Hmm.
on you. And I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I can honestly say like if as long as the people were old enough back then to have like been able to take it all in, but like pretty sure everyone that's been watching Infinity War that's not like a kid or whatever has been there since like the beginning. Like there's no doubt in my mind about that.
Yeah.
Or if they haven't watched everything, they watched like enough.
Enough to understand.
Yeah. They watched both Avengers movies leading up to it. They probably watched one of the Guardians movies. They probably watched Civil War. I wouldn't doubt that. Um, and then they just like kind of like skip around with like all the other ones. Like it's
Yeah,
it,
it really is just like
as long as you watch the big stuff,
like
I think you won't be too far in the dark.
yeah, I've seen things where it's like you don't have to watch every single movie to understand this, but there are certain key movies, especially the ones that deal with the Infinity Stones, obviously, that you kind of need to watch in order to understand at least the basic concept of why this movie is happening.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, you may not have to watch all 18, but I can understand. But like, yeah, trying to get the full scope of this movie, you kind of need to be invested from 10 years ago. And man, it's crazy to just think about. Just like it's like we're watching an anime for X amount of years. Just like you're just like I don't know where this journey is gonna take me, but it's good, and I just wanna let it ride. And I
I,
feel like that's
I'm
that's a
I'm
good.
with it.
Yeah, starting off with Iron Man 1, we didn't know where this shit was gonna go. Like Iron Man was like a big gamble for them. Like no one knew who Iron Man was. Iron Man up until the first movie was a literally a B tier hero. A lot of people don't know this, but like I'm probably a C tier at best, or B tier at best, but like definitely a C tier hero in the Marvel comics. And then we got the first Iron Man movie, and it made him a household name. And I think that was really the first time, maybe not the first time, maybe Guardians, but that was really one of the first times we saw the power of a comic book movie. Sure, we've gone comic book movies before with Fantastic Four, the various Batman and Superman movies, um,
X-Men.
the Spider-Man, X-Men, yeah, but nothing to the scale of what Iron Man gonna was gonna fucking start. We none of us expected what was gonna come out of this one movie that was literally gonna be a gamble. Like if this movie failed, we may not even be talking about this right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that this movie succeeded and it did gangbusters to everyone's surprise is just a testament to how I love how invested Marvel has been from the beginning to commit to this MCU, and I'm glad that they've stuck with it. And they took their time. They built these characters. They made us care about this universe. Um, and now we're seeing it all come together. We're seeing it all culminate in this and literally a comic book type event, but we're watching it on the big screen. This is something that literally only happens in comics, but now we're seeing it happen on the big screen, and it's fucking awesome.
And with such a big event like this, it has to be two movies.
Yeah, and I'm glad they split it into two movies. I really am. I thought they were doing it just, for money, because Harry Potter did the same thing with its last book and its last movies. But now I'm like fuck it. Yeah, split it into five movies. I don't fucking care. Like shit. Like man.
I would have been severely disappointed if it
Oh,
was one movie,
oh,
honestly.
I know, right?
Because we're talking about something that they were building up. This has to be like the be all end all. So like go big and just make it separate movies to flesh out
Hmm.
everything, and not rush anything. Cuz like that
And
with
yeah, the pacing of this
it's so
movie is great too.
significant, man. Like everything in this movie was just like what's it called?
Everything mattered.
Yeah, it was the stakes were so high in this movie, like, and for them to handle it the way they did, I give them props because that's definitely not easy. To like, oh man, you have to balance the Avengers, the new recruits, the Guardians, the big bad, and then his henchmen,
His cronies.
and you have to like just basically juggling act all that for 2.5 hours, and they did it wonderfully.
And to think people said the same thing about the first Avengers, if you remember. Like, oh God. And we have like a third of the characters we had in Avengers. Like everyone was like, "Oh, all these guys coming together. This is a recipe for disaster. We've seen this before." But from the other side with the villains, but then nah, Avengers work flawlessly. And now that literally Marvel, all they had to do was just like take the Avengers formula that Joss Whedon built and tweak it and make it their own, and that's exactly what they did.
It really sucks that Joss Whedon wasn't along for the ride until now.
Yeah. But I mean, this is kind of like I it was gonna be like Joss Whedon's, like all of this is gonna be like Joss Whedon's baby, but then now we got the Russos on board. They're at the forefront. They're at the helm now.
I know.
And I mean, I can't. I'm not gonna complain.
I know. I'm not
I
complaining
mean,
either, but like you
but it'll
can't
be
deny
great to
that
see
Joss
Joss.
Whedon like built the foundation, for what
Oh yeah.
for what they have now. Like he was a huge part.
Like he literally was like, if Avengers failed, yeah, like literally all of this could have just ended like with Iron Man and Avengers. Like, and then once Avengers is over, this could have all just been like once Avengers over, it could have just all been like, well, that was fun, and then there would have been no more movies, like no more comic book movies.
It becomes such a
But
staple
I'm glad
now.
we still getting them. Yeah, and it's like now that, and especially since Guardians came out, it's like now we can literally go anywhere because we've seen Guardians work on screen. No one knew who the fuck the Guardians of the Galaxy were before that movie came out, and now once again the Iron Man effect, they're household names. And the fact that we've gotten cosmic heroes and villains now. Dude, I've heard rumors of there's talks going on of a Nova movie possibly happening in the future, and that has me titillated.
That has you hot and
I'll
heavy.
have you know. That has oh man, if we get a fucking Nova movie, I oh my God, I don't care if it's Richard Rider or Sam Alexander. I fucking want a Nova movie so bad. Like I need a Nova movie in my life.
Before you go,
Yeah. Um Now moving over to the, I know you don't watch these, but moving over to the Marvel Netflix shows, I think it'll be interesting going forward with these guys as later seasons if if this movie really affects their world at all, which I'm assuming it will pretty significantly, but we have to wait and see for these next seasons to really see if the next season even take place, you know, during the this Avengers timeline
mm-hmm.
or before or whatever. But I don't know. Same thing with Agents of Shield. Um, yeah, it'd be interesting to see going forward. Um, how this movie affects those because I'm actually really interested now. Granted, I don't watch Agents of Shield anymore, even though I hear that show's fucking amazing. Now Ghost Rider's in the show, which I'm kind of sad about because that means we're not gonna get another Ghost Rider movie, and I fucking like Ghost Rider. But at the same time, he's in the universe, he's present, which I guess is enough for me. But it just been nice to see him on the screen one more time because those Ghost Rider movies were fucking terrible.
Oh yeah, you're telling me.
Dude, I saw speaking of I saw a video the other day. It was like the top 10 most underrated comic book movies or whatever, and fucking Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance was number 10, and I that list immediately became invalid for me.
What else movies were on that
I
list? Did you
watched
even continue watching?
I watched it, but I kind of tuned out after Spirit of Vengeance because I was like,
You literally turned
no,
down the first minute.
dude, that fucking movie was that fucking movie was terrible. Oh my god. Golly, how do you fuck up Ghost Rider, man? Oh my, and fuck him up twice. Well, okay, the first movie was okay. The first movie was decent. I'll give it that. But the second movie has no excuses. It's just bad. Like the second movie is just it's. Oh, I didn't want. I'm done. I'm talking. I'm done talking about it. Positive vibes. Back to Avengers.
What
Yeah.
what do you think is gonna happen before? Okay, so I want to keep this episode short. So before we go, what do you think? Do you have any theories for what's gonna go down in the next one?
Here's what I think will probably happen in the next one. I think the Avengers are going to assemble. Obviously, the original Avengers. I think we're going to go
One
back to
last hoorah.
space. Yep, I think we're going to go back to space. I think we're going to get I think we're going to get what you call it? What's I going to say? I think we're going to get a new gauntlet from the dwarf. Thor's going to take him to Never Delir. I think that's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go back. The dwarf is gonna make him a brand new gauntlet. Um, Now the thing is, we don't know if Thanos has scattered the stones again, or if he still is in possession of them. I guess we'll have to wait and see, because we don't exactly know the fate of the gauntlet or the gems or the stones at this point. Um, but I think they'll go to get the gauntlet. They'll make a new one, and then they're gonna come for Thanos. And if they aren't haven't already been scattered, then I think they take it, use it for themselves, and then maybe fuck him up, reverse time, do some magic. I don't exactly know. I haven't gotten that far, honestly. I was thinking the Adam Warlock would show up, but then I'm like, what use would that be? He doesn't have the soul gem, so it kind of be pointless for him to show up at this point.
I think they're saving him for Guardians too. Or
Yeah,
Guard.
and that's also they're saving him for Guardians 3, so I'm pretty sure he wouldn't show up in Avengers 4. That's just wishful thinking. But what about you? What do you think is up? What do you think is gonna go down?
Oh, let's see. So the originals are gonna make their one last get their one last go, and we're gonna see Tony and Cap reunite. That's gonna be a feel good moment, obviously. Let's see. So I think he has all the stones, but like he has no use for them because he did what he like I said. I keep going back to this.
He
He
did the thing.
he did the thing. Yeah. He sees and then they're I just hope what's it called, the way they fix everything isn't a cop out, you know, like reversing time would be too easy. Like it has to mean something, you know,
I feel it.
like someone's wielding the gauntlet, like someone important is wielding the gauntlet,
Hmm.
and they fix everything, but like to like there has to be something out of it, like you know how like
Yeah.
the soul thing, the soul gem has needs a sacrifice to be claimed or whatever. Like I'm pretty sure in order to fix everything, one of them has to go, and I think that's going to be either Iron Man or Cap. So um that's that's my thing of what I think is gonna happen, because like, uh, for them to just like get destroyed like that and then fix it and then have everything be okay again, like, that's kind. I know that's very comic booky, but like, this is the movies, you know. Like, you gotta find some way of like some big event to like trigger, and then going forward, like, things aren't the same.
Yeah.
So I think at the end of the next movie, we're gonna have some significant character stay dead, but not because he got bodied by Thanos or anything. It's just because of situations and circumstances. Um,
That's fair. That's a fair point.
yeah, but maybe that's just me be like wanting that. I don't know if it's gonna. Then the chances of it happening are very like are just gonna be different. But like, I'm trying to think like as a smart like trying to think how they would think, like how could we make the Infinity War like a storyline matter, like looking like when like 5 years from now as we're watching these movies, like, man, like it's because of the Infinity War story that all this stuff is going down or whatever, like things are the way they are, like, I'm just thinking like that. And I imagine that's how they would do it. It's because someone significant died, and then they have to handle things differently without him, or like stuff like that. It'd be cool though. But I think that's it. I think that's my thing.
That's your hot take.
Yeah, I don't know how plausible it seems. I don't know how you feel about it after hearing me say it, but that's what I walked out of watching it the second time feeling.
And that is why we don't get paid the big bucks for this shit. Because
Exactly.
I have, man,
Though I will say, like, at the end of the first time showing it, everything that I thought would happen did happen. So it's not too out of the blue for me to think that way. So now
okay.
the only thing that I couldn't get right was who died, but then again, that's too many variables and combinations for
Yeah,
me
I'm
to
pretty, I'm
to
pretty
figure
sure no
that
one
out.
could guess.
So
Yeah.
um, I did know someone significant was gonna die. Um, now now when I say significant, I meant like the staple names. I didn't expect Gamora to die.
Hmm.
I didn't expect Loki to die so
Yeah,
early.
I don't think anyone expected Gamora.
Um, I didn't expect Spider Man to die, but he fell in line with like important, like pivotal characters. So
Yeah.
technically I got that part right, but I did get it right that he would assemble all the stones by the end of the movie, and then do the freaking wipe out
Do the
life thing, and the next movie would be the Avengers fixing it. I did get that part right, so I'm very happy. And that doesn't take me away from like the fact that I guessed what was gonna happen doesn't necessarily take away my movie going experience. I still enjoyed this movie a lot.
because there is a lot to enjoy.
Exactly, like all the
It's a
set
fucking
pieces,
enjoyable movie.
all the character interactions, like, and probably the like best movie villains in cinema of all time, like up there with like I could honestly say so since he's only been in it one movie, and since he's gonna have two, or he's gonna be in there for two, um, I think Thanos is gonna be up there when it's all said and done with like movie villains like Heath Ledger's Joker, Darth Vader, all of those great villains. I think by the end
I
of
sure hope so. I think he'll be up there.
he's already on his way there, because like, dude, like, I don't think you've ever seen a movie where the villain wins by an overwhelming amount. Like, that was
I
crazy.
haven't seen a movie like that, but I do watch anime, so I've seen it before.
Yeah, but to see it in
Like I
cinema,
could,
though, it's a different story. Like,
yeah, no,
you never, and it's superheroes. Like, the common superhero trope is that the heroes always win. And like,
oh
you
yeah,
see you
yeah,
see
no,
the
it's
you
not.
see the
They,
villain win by a damn near overwhelming margin. Like, he's only been in serious
yeah, it's
trouble like a handful of times in the movie, and then the rest of the times he's just messing with them. Like, that's crazy to
like
think
the
about.
Warriors blowing out their opponents.
I mean, yeah, you could say that, but like, I don't know. I've
Like when I
never.
compared it
I
to,
I'm not really convinced at the like about that, but like, yeah. Yeah, you get what I
Well,
mean.
when I compared it to when we were done was when Pain walked into the Hidden Leaf Village and killed everybody
Yeah,
with
you could.
ease,
Yeah,
mind
with
you.
ease. Yeah, with ease. It only took main character plot armor to take him out.
And then fucking Ex Machina bullshit to bring everyone back. But hey, he still did the thing.
But yeah, you get what I mean. Like, to see a villain
Yeah,
win in overwhelming fashion like that is just like you never see
it
that.
was actually pretty. It was refreshing to see, actually. Yeah.
Even though some of us knew like it was gonna happen, like just to see it play out, it's a whole different story than just thinking it would happen. It's especially how it did play out, seeing as how like at the very end when literally he gets stabbed in the chest, not stabbed in the chest, but he gets impaled in the chest by Thor's new hammer
Oh, that
slash
was
axe,
whew,
and he
the
has the
Stormbreaker.
audacity. He has the audacity to just tell him you should have aimed for the head. Like
Oh, I know.
that's
Like
that's that's true villain dialogue right there.
that's literally the line. Like, you stupid fuck. I've already won. That's the I've already won line.
That's the
Like,
Thanos
damn.
version of "You're too late."
Yeah. That's man. Oh my God. And that having that literally be like the second to last shot of the movie of him snapping his fingers was fucking amazing. So many great nods to the comics.
Especially the snapping. That was
Could not.
pretty close to the comics.
Amazing.
But yeah,
I
uh,
honestly can't wait for what the future holds for this universe.
I can't wait to watch it
Honestly,
again. Like, oh
I
man,
know.
I'm so looking forward to watching it again. But yeah, I think we're good. Is there anything else you wanted
So,
to say? I think I'm good.
I mean, get this far into our Avengers Infinity War spoiler cast. Um, uh, um, fuck, I just had it in my head. Oh, as Dusty Rhodes always says, "Don't be silly. Don't play with your willy." And that I'm good. That's all I need. That's all
That
I needed.
that doesn't apply, but okay. As always, if you made it this far, thank you. Um, and it is about 11 o'clock at night, and we're over here oogling about a movie we saw a few days ago. But like that's big impact. But we out.
We out.